We have the playoffs starting this weekend. It's a busy weekend. I really wanted to get these picks out, earlier in the week, but better late than never, right? So we got a full weekend of games. It's a wild card weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday games. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make predictions for each game on each day. Maybe talk about some of the games a little bit, but I'm gonna try to make it quick and just get these predictions done. And that's it, man. I mean, listen, when I predict, I have a habit of sometimes predicting with my heart more than my head or my gut. So with this one, I'm gonna try to just predict with my gut, and because it's certainly big enough to predict with. So I'm gonna try to predict with my gut and just see what we do, see how we do. But it's tough because sometimes it's like, I'll explain it as I go. I'll show you what I'm talking about here, all right? So we have the first day of games, which is Saturday, January 11th, all right? So the first game is the Chargers at the Texans. Okay, it's a 4:30 game. And then we have the Steelers at the Ravens. That's the 8:30 game. And then on Sunday, January 12th, the 1 o'clock game is the Broncos at Buffalo. And then the 4:30 game is the Packers at the Eagles. And then the night game, 8 o'clock, Washington at the Buccaneers. These are going to be some tough games to predict. And then the Monday night playoff game, which is like a new thing they've been doing now, right? They did it last year, I believe, which is pretty cool, though. I like how they do the wild card weekend now with having games, on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I think it's pretty cool. But the Monday night game is the Vikings and Donald trying to rebound from that loss against the Lions the other last week, which was that big game, right? Vikings at Rams. All right. So there's our matchups for wild card weekend. So now let's get into the predictions here. All right. The first game is the Chargers and Houston. My gut, right? We're going to go with my gut, right? My gut says the Chargers take this. So I'm going to predict the Chargers in this game. It's a tough game to pick. Houston's at home, but, the Chargers with Herbert and Harbaugh, he's a good coach, man. He gets shit done as a coach. Let's go with the Chargers. That takes us to the night game on Saturday. This is a tough game to predict, I think. Steelers at Ravens. All right, so this is where I'm talking about where, like, my heart or, my heart gets a little involved with the picks, My gut says, look, I think the Ravens are going to take this game, but I want the Steelers to win. So that's where my picks get a little blurred internally. All right, let's stick with my gut. I said the Ravens, right? But this is, something tells me the Steelers might pull this out. It's a division game. Let's stick with the initial gut feeling, which was the Ravens. All right, so the Ravens, I say, take that game. Then that takes us to the Sunday games, which is January 12th. First game up, Denver at Buffalo. Right off the bat, I'm predicting Buffalo in this game. I think Buffalo has a very good shot to go to the bowl this year. But Buffalo needs to be careful in this game. That's all I'm going to say here. The Broncos are also a cold weather team. So the Broncos aren't going to be intimidated by Buffalo's weather. The Broncos have had a pretty ambitious season, I must say. Going back to the beginning of the season, I just didn't think the Broncos were going to do anything this year. I was really pissed when the Jets lost to them. But they are in the playoffs. So with Bo Nix, a quarterback the Jets could have drafted last year, just throwing that out there. But like I said, Buffalo takes this game. But like I'm saying, the Buffalo needs to be careful in this game. That takes us to the 4:30 game, which is the Packers at Eagles. Again, I think this is a tough game to predict in a way because Green Bay was pretty good last year in the playoffs. They, another team up and coming. But I think the Eagles take care of business at home. Look for Barkley to continue doing what he's been doing all season. And I think the Eagles will take this game. And then that takes us to the night game on Sunday, which is Washington at Tampa Bay. Again, this is a tricky game, in my opinion, to predict. Washington, another team this year, a surprising team. Surprising rookie at quarterback. The guy really had some season. Washington has proven to be a tough and gritty team this year, but so has the Buccaneers with Mayfield. Buccaneers are home. Buccaneers had a great season last year in the playoffs, but something tells me Washington is going to win this game. I think Washington pulls an upset here and beats the Buccaneers, so let's go with Washington in this game. And then that takes us to the Monday night game, which is the Vikings at the Rams. Now, I figured let me save a little talk for this game because I was talking up the Vikings and Donald for weeks. And they had that huge game against Detroit last week and pretty much just got dominated and manhandled in that game. The Lions defense showed up large and the Lions running back showed up large and Donald didn't look like he could do anything, but that's a big credit to the Lions defense in that game. Lions look really good. So the question with this game is, do the Vikings or I really should say, this is really about how will the Vikings and Donald rebound from that loss last week against the Lions. Again, I have a gut feeling here. The Rams are going to take this game. So, and listen, I've been rooting for Donald the whole fucking season pretty much, especially the last, third of the season. Still an amazing season for Donald. But I think the road ends here for Donald and the Vikings. I just have this feeling that and I don't even think the Rams are, that good of a team to, beat the Vikings in this first round. But there's something about this game where it feels like the Rams are going to win this game to me. And I think this is the end of the whole Viking Donald magic carpet ride, I should say, really. So there you have it. There are my predictions for Wild Card Weekend. And that's pretty much it. So we'll see what happens.